Hello, this is Paul. Welcome to Unit 8. This is part of a series of 12 different classes that we are presenting at the First Church of the Brethren in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. By your faithful attendance to these classes at the church, you will be able to receive a free computer. But not only that, you also get a certificate of completion, which is credible for many employers and also to be able to go on for further education. So there's been a lot of excitement going on here. In Unit 7, we learned how to create shortcuts that are placed on the desktop. We went through a couple different ways of doing it, starting with the wizard that was used to present the same thing. And then we went ahead and made shortcuts a couple other different ways. And these were for shortcuts on the desktop. Now we're going to do it a little bit differently, and we're going to make shortcuts that are activated by keyboard shortcuts. Now, keyboard shortcuts provide a nice, convenient, and easy way to get from one program to another that has not been opened yet. It will also open a program a second time if you use these shortcuts in succession. So we also are able to use keyboard shortcuts when we are in a different program, for example, to open a word processor while we are on the web without going through the steps of going to the desktop or any other means. Now, looking to the example of my desktop on one of my computers, I have a large number of icons there that represent programs that are available for me to create a shortcut from the keyboard. However, be aware that also we can do this from the Start menu and selecting all programs, and you can choose any program that is on that list to be able to create a keyboard shortcut. By making a right click on any one of the programs that are on the desktop or on the list of all programs that are listed through the Start menu, you'll be able to select the very bottom item of it to go to the Properties menu. As you realize, every time you use the right button, it will bring up a menu, and hold the mouse over top of something with an arrow will open a sub-menu. But then Properties on the bottom is all by itself, and if you left click on that item, you'll be able to open a window for its properties. After we get into the Properties menu, we turn our attention to the area that says Shortcut Key, and in the window there it says None, and that means nothing is assigned to it. It is not automatic. And the way you do this is you click on that white area there where it says for Shortcut Key, hold down the Control key along with the Shift key and press a letter of your choice. I'd like to also tell you that the alternate key will also work with it, so you can also use the alternate key and the Shift key and be able to use a letter of your choice along with it. Either way, it will take place. Take notice that window will be able to show you exactly what you pressed in there, and there might be times that it will not take, and that's because you're making a selection of something that's already been used by another selection that it's going to go to a different program, and such conflicts will not take place. So be careful to use a specific key that is not being used on anything else. I also need to tell you that there are certain keys that are used for Windows to operate, and those keys are also not able to be used as well. So just because it doesn't take in this different selections that you might want to take, just because it doesn't work doesn't mean that the program isn't working properly. It's only that you're using something that has already been used. While being in the Properties menu here, I'd like to direct our attention to another item that is called Run. Now, take notice that it is pointed out that in the white space to the right of it, it says a normal window. Now, for me, I find myself in the habit of enlarging the screen and making this program to run full screen, and it's annoying to have it in a what is called a normal window. I like to call it a reduced menu, that you're able to have more than one window open on one screen with it reduced. But normal operation, I like to have it full screen, for example, as in a word processor or in a spreadsheet. So for this, I am able to make a change on this by making the selection of my choice. To the right of this white window here where it says normal window, there's a down arrow, and using the left button on your mouse, if you're using it as a right-handed mouse, you'll be able to see the three selections, and I'll explain each of them to you. Now, the normal window is a reduced sized window, and if you make it a specific size, it will return to that size. No matter how many times you open it, it'll be a reduced size. If you make it as a maximized, it means that it will be a maximized window, or it will fill the entire screen, whatever size your screen may be. By making the minimize selection, you're going to open the program and have it down on the task menu at the bottom of your screen. It is open and ready to be used anytime you click on it. It don't have to go through the process of opening that program at all. So that might be easy for you, that you want to open a program and not use it right away and just have it on standby. Once you have made all the selections that you're interested to make, then you will always use the apply button on the bottom of that window and press OK to close it down. Now, it's not necessary to go crazy over making all kinds of keyboard shortcuts, because there's only basically a couple programs that you probably use on your computer that you want to have such a shortcut on your keyboard. And for example, you might make it for Writer. If you're using OpenOffice on a regular habit, you'll be using that, but not necessarily the other programs. But while you're on the web, you might want to jump to it that easy. So that is there available for you. The assigned program will open from any location on the computer. Like I said, if you're on the web, a keyboard shortcut would take you to that program very quickly. I believe this is a good time to have a better discussion about the different areas on the taskbar on the bottom of your screen and how they are able to function. We're going to talk about quick access buttons that are added to the bottom of your screen and have an easy way to have a single click on a specific program of interest, while on the desktop it requires a selection and a double click to be able to do the same thing. So this is a very easy and quick way to open a couple programs of your choice to be able to have access to the web or anywhere else you want to go. Realize that it is the taskbar that is located along the bottom portion of your screen. In most cases this is true. However, the location can be moved from either side of the desktop or even on the top of a person's choice, and but most commonly it is on the bottom of the screen. Take notice that on the on this task window, starting on the left side, we do have the Start menu button, and although as it does look different in Windows 7, it stays in the same place. Now, next to that, to the right of the Start button, we have Quick Launch buttons. And Quick Launch buttons is what I'm talking about earlier, that if you make a single left button click or the primary key on your mouse, you will be able to open these few buttons. Take notice that there is a double arrow there to the right of where I have Firefox emblem there. And it will bring up a list of other quick launch buttons as well to choose from. Now I'd like to direct your attention to the right side of the taskbar and take notice there might be a box there with a question mark in it, which signifies the help button. But from the desktop, please note that the F1 key will do the same thing, and within a program the F1 key will also bring up a help selection for the specific program that you're working with. Meanwhile, this question mark on the bottom on the taskbar will always bring up a help level for the Windows. Now next to it is the options button. The options button will be able to give you a selection of other things that are running on your computer to be able to set up different things that are running and select how they run. So these options are available. To the next of it, you'll see an arrow there that points to the left side. That means that the taskbar in this window here, to the right of that arrow, there is more buttons that are not being revealed, and pressing on that it'll display all of them. There is a magnifier which will enable like a spyglass going over the desktop to make things larger, or in a program you can also use it to be able to make words on a document larger to be able to read them better. Now these tools that I have discussed with you so far is not mandatory. It doesn't mean that those are on display there, but they could be there. As you choose different things to run in the background, then that is what is going to be displayed in this area. And I'd like to tell you more about the clock that you see here now. If you hold the mouse over top of it, it will display the date. On Windows 7, it will have a two-line display showing the date and the time along with it. And this clock is either set manually, or you can have it tied into the atomic clock that you will be able to have it set for the local time zone that you're in, and be able to have your computer set to the correct time automatically. Now, like I said, this is a sample of what the taskbar looks like on my computer. It can look very different on yours, but it can be customized to be that way. You do have control of your computer to be able to do that. I would like to take the time to present to you how to make a quick access button on the bottom of your screen to be added on to the task menu, and this will be able to have a very easy access to bring up items that are located within a directory. I don't have enough time to do this right now, so I'm going to have to ask you to go to part 2 on this, and this presentation will not take very long in addition to what you've been through with this study so far. This is Paul Jones, and we are looking to finish up our study with number 8 of our series.